who am I? I think the most important element that I would consider for to define identity is to look into the factor of society, because I think society defines a person most of the time, and we are creatures of society, of social norms, and we tend to behave according to what the society wants us to behave as, until after some time, you know, when you are old enough, you realize that you shouldn't be following certain things blindly, you should question things. And then I suppose identity changes through the ages. And I think what I'm trying to get at is, at the end of the day, identity is not a static, fixed thing. It's a very dynamic thing. And for me, throughout my ages, I think I've identified myself as different things at different times.
I guess initially, the audience, in his younger days, the audience would have seen him as a more funny person rather than a serious person. But over the years, as he has been conveying quite a number of good messages for the youth through his jokes. I
don't know, I think his identity as Vadi still stays. You know, Vadi is Vadi, nothing changes about that.
First, I've always thought of myself as a teacher. I like to preach most of the time actually. And then I like to do theatre, drama. Then I consider myself as an artist. And then now I'm doing law. So you can see I'm kind of at the crossroads, still trying to define myself, still trying to create an identity for myself. But I think that's what makes it very interesting, because I think everyone should be able to reinvent themselves at different stages of their lives. It's very interesting, it's very exciting.
He's a true artist, I should say. And a Tamilian, which he believes he strongly holds on to. And he has lived according to it. And he believes in aspiring in greater heights. One of his greatest identity, which I look up to him for.
My father is a big inspiration, I would say, because he didn't used to be, of course I had other inspiration like Michael Jackson, you know. Then when you grow, then you start to realize the kind of difficulties your father went through to actually come to this country, bring up a family, and the kind of principles that he held, discipline that he had. He has always instilled that identity in me that I'm a Tamilian, you know, and he's very proud to be a Tamilian. And although he has roots in India, he tries to create a Singaporean identity for himself, and he says that our history is here and our future is here also. And I think I kind of like that, and that has really affected my search for my own identity and what I am today.
Actor, director, lawyer, which do I prefer? Well, I used to prefer him as a teacher when he was a lecturer, because I think he inspired many students.
Teacher, I think there's a teaching element that is still inside me, something that still persists in me, although I've resigned from my teaching job. I really would like to continue that part of it, and actually I was teaching part-time in Singapore Polytechnic recently while I was doing my law, and while I'm doing my law, still doing my law.
But I suppose out of these three, I like the director part of him most, because as an actor, yes, his creativity is there, but I think as a director, there are more challenges to bring out the creativity, and he does it quite well there.
I don't know. I think I'm a split personality, split 4 ways. I think so. There's not much of a dominant thing that I'd like to do. Maybe I'm a person who likes to do a lot of things at different times. Keeps me going, more interesting. You know, you got only one life. Yeah, I leave it 4 ways.